a lot of professionals and students already chasing their dream of Canadian PR, and we have been successful in achieving more than, you can say, like approximately thousands of PRs with their invites by so far. So it won't be, much to say that we got an expertise in Canadian PR. Fingers crossed. By so far, doing good. And yes, it's a great option if you are looking apart from the Australian migration, because we all know that Australian migration is getting harder and harder day by day. So we all are in need of plan B so that we can get our dream for permanent residency be done. So, yes, for that question, Canadian immigration is a permanent solution for those who are eligible for this. Why I'm using the word eligible, guys? Because see, everybody cannot apply for Canadian PR because I'm talking about the residency, right? Permanent residency. So, if only you get the eligibility, only then you'll be able to acquire it. And yes, if I'm comparing it with Australian immigration, high hopes, high chances, pretty fair. And yeah, because the thing is, it is by far so not so complex. Because if I'm checking about Australian immigration, we all know that we'll be needing skill assessment, correct? So that is the most difficult part if our clients, if our students are not having the similar field experience. So if I'm talking in that context, yes, Canadian migration is the option, because as for now, no skill assessment is required. They're only going with educational assessment, right? And I'll be explaining to you in my further slides as we go down the lane that, okay, so what are the possibilities and the future involved in Canadian migration? And of course, the basic question, why Canadian immigration? Okay, so let's just start the webinar. This is Kanika again. So the agenda that I'll be discussing in this webinar will be these. I hope you guys can share the screen and you have a visualization of what we are watching here in my screen. So the permanent residencies first I'm going to explain, and we'll be going alongside with the federal skilled worker, and we'll be continuing gradually for provincial nomination program. As you can see, we can discuss about the skilled occupations so far, occupations in demand, the marketing analysis, the comprehensive ranking score, which we call CRS, or normally in layman language, the point system, eligibility criteria, and of course, the future initiatives, like what we can do, what is the future for Canadian PR and how to chase it. Okay, so let's just start. See, immigration to Canada. So, first of all, immigration means that permanent, we want to settle down, right? And most of my clients, when they approach me, guys, they are in a very dilemma that, like, okay, Kanika, see, if we get the immigration, so is it only the thing that we need to stay over there in Canada and we won't be able to chase our Australian PR or any other PR or whatsoever? So yes, the question is quite genuine and the concern is quite genuine. So the answer to this question is yes. The immigration or the permanent residency means that you acquire all the rights to stay over there. You can enjoy the Medicare system, you can enjoy the health benefits, you can enjoy daycares, and so many other benefits that come along with. But it is not at all that you cannot have the citizenship or the permanent residency for other countries so far. Okay, so what I'm going to talk about is the dual citizenship. So if you get Canadian permanent residency, so it's a span of 5 years. As we all know that permanent residencies, they usually are of 5 years, and then we can simply renew them for another 5 years if we comply with the rules, right? For Canada, the stay holds for 3 years for a span of 5 years, which means in a span of 5 years, if I'm able to show, for example, my residential stay over there for 3 years, it can be straight away, it can be continuous, or it can be split. Okay, so altogether at the end of 5 years, it should should be 3 years in total. So if I'm able to comply that, then yes, I'm entitled to get the citizenship. And then if I'm able to get my citizenship for Canada, I'll be able to go for the dual citizenship. And for example, same way, I'll be able to hold my Australian passport as well, same time. But the thing is, India won't hold this dual citizenship, so you cannot hold the passports, two passports at the same time, but you can still maintain your Canadian PR. Okay, so immigration means we are permanently settling down so that we can work as well as we live. In simple language, we should have the work rights and we should be able to get our Medicare system covered. Okay, so as I go further, see, just like so, I'm actually trying to explain this in context with Australian PR so that the you can say the comparison would be easy enough. So I'll start with federal skilled worker. So, guys, federal skilled worker means it is just a way by which you can apply Canadian PR. Okay, so Express Entry is the portal, just like we have EMI portal for Australian PR. So the similar way, it's a program launched by Canada in somewhere around 1960s, 1967 approximately, so that they select immigrants from all over the world, right? And then there are some benefits across it. Federal skilled worker, as the name suggests, it goes with skilled occupation, yes. And Canada, by using this program, Canada is actually supporting migrants from all over the world. If I'm talking about 2024 and 2025, then yes, almost you can say 110,000 almost the nominations are there, and they want those many immigrants by so far, which is quite a good number if I'm comparing as compared to Australian PR. And yes, there are reasons like why they want so much of quota. Don't they have their own? No, the simple answer is they have a literally quite low birth rate, and they are literally looking for professionals and the skilled migrants, because Canadians usually they don't are into studies much. So what they are looking forward is an educated person with a skill, right? So that is why, and because it's a big country, and with usually that much low birth rate, they are aspiring a lot of applications throughout the world so that they can get what they want. And see, they are not doing anything without any their own self motive, which is that they want us so that we can pay them the taxes. And plus, they're having an upper hand. They're having all the educated, literate migrants from all over the world. So they're literally chasing the cream, right? So coming back to my topic, which is federal skilled worker, guys. So federal skilled worker means it is just a program that Canada launched in order to get immigrants from all over the world. And it works with Express Entry. Express Entry, what is Express Entry? It is just a portal. Just like any portal, we have an EMI portal to launch our Canadian visas, be it permanent residency, be it visitor visas, or be it student visas, whatever you guys want to launch, the application for Canadian visas. Express Entry is the portal. It is the interface, and Federal Skilled Worker being one of the programs, right? And then, see, the thing is, it's quite beneficial for the aspirants because you just need to meet the eligibility criteria. You need to follow the procedure step by step, and boom, you will be able to get it. But it is not as easy as I'm sounding, I guess. It is pretty complex. If you are eligible, nothing hard for you. If you're not eligible, you need to make it eligible for you. So I'm gonna explain both the things, like how to chase it normally and how can I make myself eligible for that if I'm not. Okay. So because most of the you can see most of the clients and most of the students that are approaching me from the last 9 years or so, every time they are not eligible. So we need to change the ways. How can we convert them into eligibility? Right. So there is where you need an professional agent because everything is available on Google. I guess you can just search it up and you can launch your PR. I totally agree. But sometimes when you feel like you are not updated with the legend, you don't know about the respective concerns about the execution of the procedures and what changes, what immigration, what updates immigration is putting on, then you need to seek a professional help. So because see, we guys need to maintain, need to upgrade, and need to update ourselves on a regular basis so that we can chase what they want. So you definitely will be requiring a professional agent so that not only the lodgement of PR is the main thing. See, the basic task starts once you lodge your PR. Okay. This is what I explain to my clients. It is very easy. You can just Google it up, you can check your points, and you may be able to lodge your PR as well. But then while you're waiting, once sometimes what happen is because it's been delaying, or they need additional documents. Sometimes you get married, sometimes you get a child, sometimes you get divorced, or sometimes there is up and down in your health, or there are so many other factors, a change in your situation. And that is why you need a professional help. You should seek a professional help while lodging your PR. Okay, this is a bit complex, not as easy as we are sounding it. Okay, so coming back to federal skill worker, it is a method by which you can check your eligibility and lodge your PR, right? And there are similar steps. If you can share, you can have a look to my screen. You can see like the very first is if you're coming down to us, we'll be able to check your eligibility assessment for free. So that's what I'm doing it. And at CECA, we are able to do this free of charge. We do not charge anything to check your eligibility. So that's a win-win situation. Come, get your eligibility test. If you don't want it, just leave it. We are not getting anything in return. But if it clicks to you and if you're eligible, please go through it. Right? So the steps involved majorly that we need to check your eligibility if because there is an eligibility tool provided across the Canadian website. You can just go over there and get it done. If you are done with it, simply you need to create an Express Entry profile with IRCC under the Express Entry portal. And then the major thing is you need to receive an ITA. ITA means invitation to apply. And usually IRCC holds every fortnightly, they usually holds the draws. So higher the points, sooner you'll be able to get it. Or third thing is once you receive an ITA, then please go on the PR lodgement, and that's a fixed duration. The tenure is 60 days. I repeat 60 days. That is GST time because sometimes what happens is you might consider okay, Canada is a day before, but no, please don't go that way. Sometimes you fall short of the time, and trust me, it has happened before. Please always try to lodge your PR before the span. Okay, better safety than you may can it might can collapse. So now after the federal skilled worker, the eligibility criteria. See, eligibility criteria as the counselor, what I used to do is instead of checking CRS directly, because see what happens is I told you CRS needs to be 300. If you go on checking Google, you'll be able to see, okay, 300 CRS is the bare minimum points that we need. Yes, I agree. But sometimes what happens is that is not the major eligibility criteria that one can rely upon completely. Reason being, sometimes a person A has 300 CRS score means he is eligible. But similarly, he or she won't be able to fix or get the 67 points out of 100. So always check the 67 point criteria because that's a balance of all the marital points. Your age, that includes your age, your qualification, your English level check, your spouse points, and your PT or English requirements. So that's a mixture. That's a very nice and beautiful mixture of all of these. So there needs to be a balance. So what we need is basically 67 points out of 100. Once you guys check the 67 point criteria, please then only go for calculating the 300 CRS. Sometimes it is not a vice versa situation. If a person has 67 points, he may or may not be. Sorry, sorry, come
गलती से
again.
गलत कर दिया था रवि के नाम से रवि के नाम से
Okay, so the 67 point grade over there is that it is based on your age, your education, your work experience, and your arranged employment with the help of your spouse as well. Okay, and see, the thing is, why you should apart from this, I will also recommend that why you should seek CECA as a super agent in Canadian migration, because we got a lot of experience, frankly speaking. I'm talking about myself, I'm doing it in the for the last 9 years or so. That this is the genre why you should rely upon us. I had personally speaking, I had addressed different and complex situations and troublesome situations which a newcomer won't be able to address. Okay, you need a lot of experience in handling that situation because that's a real time. There won't be a second chance, right? And secondly, if I just want to address one case in which one of my clients, he already got deportation from Canada years ago, and now I was chasing because I wanted to try it as a challenge. I had taken it, and let me tell you that we were able to get the Canadian PR for the same couple because I applied on the behalf of the the spouse, and not the person who got deportation from there. So still, why I'm recalling this scenario because see, there could be so many agents out there, but you need to find a proper agent by which who had the experience of struggling and juggling in between different solutions, because that's a real time scenario. Sometimes so many complex things happen. If you go to a newcomer or a new agent, he probably don't have the experience to explain and to chase IRCC. Okay, sometimes ministerial intervention is required. Sometimes you need to change your status overnight. One of my clients, he just reached to Canada once he received the PR without letting me know that he got married in between. So the status changed altogether. So he needs to face a lot of challenges on the immigration system. So then you need a proper, I can say, I will say, or I should say, a proper experienced agent who will be able to promptly respond it. Right. So coming back to the grid, guys. So once you meet the criteria, like okay, you check the age, you already seek out the work experience and the employment and the language ability, then you can chase. Okay, now I'm good to go for. And yes, Harsh, I think you have somebody has a question. Can I please get the question? Not able to hear. Sorry, I'm not able to get the question if someone has. Um, okay. So yes, Hashi, you raise a hand. Could you please let me know like what question is in your mind?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes, please. I'm all ears.
Use player eligibility area. If have a PTA and IELTS are mixed,
Yeah.
which requirement is eligible, PTA or IELTS?
Okay, that's a very nice question. Okay, so Hashi, the thing is, if I'm talking completely about the eligibility area regarding the English, so yes, guys, there are three possibilities. We can go for general IELTS. We can go for PTE core. That's a new and recently launched PTE category. Initially, where I think you guys are aware about the PTE academic, but PTE academic won't work for Canadian PR. One needs to go for PTE core. Okay. And the third could be CELPIP. They can easily find CELPIP in Sydney.
And how much band is required?
So minimum six each is the requirement.
Okay.
Minimum six each in all. Yeah. Minimum six each. If you're going for PT core, that's very easy to score. So I guess you need to go for 69 each. Nothing
Uh,
lesser than that. Higher the
One
better.
question
And
more.
yes, please go ahead.
If you don't mind, you can send these slides in
Yeah,
inbox.
sure. By the end of the webinar, I'll be able to send you guys the slides for that.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you.
No problem, no problem. So let me just continue with that. And you guys can drop me your question. Just hear me out. And you can just write down your questions if you want. And we will be able to discuss at the end of the webinar if that's okay for you. Okay. Okay. So regarding the English thing, let me clear myself again. So three possibilities are there for English, guys. Self-pip, and you can easily find in Melbourne and Sydney. And because some people they find IELTS very hard to score, So for them, they can easily go for PT core, very easy to score, easier to score than PT academics. And you guys can go for self, right? Higher the points, higher the bands, of course, higher the points. But I'm just letting you know bare minimum. And there is, there are 2 to 3 more provinces which works even on lower CLB, which is like Saskatchewan being one state, which can even give you PR, even if you have a CLB, minimum CLB of 5 each. But there's a separate criteria. There's a separate condition that they want. Those things need to be compensated with experience, and you need to be get quite a higher years of experience for that. Okay, I will be covering that once I go down the lane. Okay, so be with me. So now, guys, as we discussed about the eligibility criteria, like who can be eligible? Anybody who can have 67-point criteria, they are eligible. Next, the market expansion. See, the thing is, if I'm going to unlock different horizons over there, we all know that Canada is a superpower after US. So once you are able to get the Canadian PR, you can easily get the work opportunities for USA and a good amount of 10 years, right? Good amount of 10 years, you'll be able to get the work rights in US if you get the Canadian PR. So that's quite an expansion in itself. So many people who are not able to get their green cards, they can easily get the opportunities if they get the Canadian PR, and it is gradually increasing. Canada is coming in most all, almost all of the ITs. If I'm talking about health sector, if I'm talking about, it's one of the superpowers. So, and guys, this is very, very important. I'm gonna devote most of my time over this thing, which is provincial nomination program. So, see, just we do Australian immigration, we do 189. That's the direct form of PR. You apply PR, you get invite, you got PR, boom. But sometimes we need to go another lane, we need to incline towards 190 and 491. The 190 and 491 usually comes under the state nomination, in which it is a complete PR, but yet they give us extra points with a condition. Yes, they are conditional PRs that we need to stay and work over there. Right? This is in Australia. So if I'm talking about Canada, Express Entry is a portal and Federal Skilled Worker is 189. You lodged your application. It is under skill. You got high points. You are the top ranker. Auto-generated invite will be coming to you. But what if, for example, 450 is the cutoff and you are getting in between 350 to 400? Now, if I'm looking broader way, 300 is eligibility criteria, so I'm eligible to lodge my application. But 450 is the cutoff. So what should I do? That is a major concern, right? Trust me, 90% of my clients, they come into this category. So the thing is, provincial nomination program. Many of the students out there in the market, they are very scared of this term because they don't have complete knowledge about it, and we all know ignorance is bliss. Sometimes, right? And little knowledge is a dangerous thing too. So they only have a little knowledge about PNP because not all the agents across. Sorry, I'm not here. You are. Do you have any question? If someone has a question, please raise your hand. Okay, I'm good to go for then. Okay, so guys, PNP means it is just a literal abbreviation for 190 and 491. Provincial means in Canada, we don't call them states as in Australia, we call them provinces. Okay, so provinces means provincial nomination program means each and every province is Canada. They provide a separate nomination program by which you can get a permanent residency. It is a conditional PR, yes. Just like federal skilled worker, there is no condition at all. You launch the PR, you get invited, you get the PR. In PNP, it is a conditional PR, and the condition states that you need to stay over there in that particular province for a span of 12 to 18 months, subjected to conditions. But 18 months is the maximum they want you to stay over there. And you will be happy to know that there is no work requirements Let me repeat myself. No work requirements. Just like in Australia, we see that there is a 2-year bond with proper, and in 491, you need to maintain the same work conditions. No, in Canada, in PNP, they are quite relaxed. They just want the person whom they are giving a nomination. The person should be residing in the same province for a span of 1 to 2 years. Okay. So there is no work restriction. Whatever work coming your way, you should be able to take it and pay your taxes. Right. And also one more thing, there's few provinces in Canada, they are usually too cold to bear. And if that is the situation, for example, Saskatchewan and some few parts of British Columbia as well. So if you feel like you got a nomination from Saskatchewan and other colder areas, please go on accepting your nomination, get your PR, clear the immigration, go over there, spend at least 2 to 3 months, and then you can raise to IRCC that due to medical conditions, or those having spouse or kids with them, it's very easy for them to get a transfer to other provinces, even if you are under the bond. My few of the clients, they have done it successfully. Okay, so out of experience, I'm saying you this, that in whether you get a most difficult nomination from the province, please do not decline it. Accept it. Get your PR, get the immigration done, go to that province, stay over there for 3 months, and then change. Right? They are not that hard and stringent like Australia. So again, coming back to provincial nomination program, it is just a leading way by which you can immigrate to Canada as a skilled worker. Provincial means, for example, I'm a registered nurse. Okay, so and I know that, but my points are really low because of my age. My age is in 30s. So now I lose my CRS score. It is just in between 350, 380 to 400. But now I want my PR. So I can consider provincial nominations. It is in my hands which provinces will visualize my application. Who will consider it? So once I made myself visible to them, they can see me and they can select me as per the skill acquired. For example, Ontario, right? Ontario is the capital. So Ontario needs, if Ontario needs a registered nurse, and I already launched my application, even on the lowest possible score, they just will look that I should be eligible, which is other way around. Because if I'm not eligible, I'm not having CRS score 300, I won't be able to make my application. So if I'm able to put my application by express entry, it means I'm eligible. And if I'm eligible, it means it's okay. The point is so less, I won't be able to get invite anytime sooner. So in that case, I'm considering provinces. Like if any province needs a skill like mine, they should be able to give me invite. And as an invite, nomination means what? For example, I'm registered nurse with 350 points. Of course, express entry direct, not possible. I'm still eligible. I lodged my application for the province. Ontario watches my province, my resume and my application, and they know that my skill is registered nurse and they are looking for it. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna send me a nomination. Once I receive the nomination, I will be communicating via IRCC in my express entry portal only. That is the way, that is the only way by which I can communicate to IRCC. So that is very important to maintain. Okay. And second thing is, say, for example, I got a nomination from Ontario or be it any XYZ province. So as a nomination means, first of all, they will give me an option that yes, they are interested. They give me with two options: accept or decline. If I decline, everything just stopped there. I will go back to normal. Second, if I accept, acceptance means that particular nomination will give me 600 points that will get added to my original CRS score in my portal. For example, initially I was 350. Now Ontario wants me. As a result, I accept the nomination and they gave me 600 points, which will get added to my original score. So 350 plus 600 will be 950. Oh my God, you chased the highest nomination. You will be able to receive your ITA within 2 weeks. That will be an auto generated one. We don't need to wait for a draw for that. Okay, that's a very important thing. Not everybody knows about it. because some of the opinion that okay, we need again, if I get the nomination 600 points, I have to wait until there is a draw. No, no, completely no. Draw is a separate thing. But if anybody got the nomination 600 points, they ought to receive invite within 1 week even. Okay, that's an auto generated one. They have to give you out of the draw. Draw has nothing to do with it. So once you receive the ITA, so in ITA, what you'll get is 600 plus 350, the original score, adding together 950, and they will send you an ITA, and it comes with an expiry date because it stays valid for 60 days only, as we initially discussed. So within those 60 days, you guys need to upload all your documents, all your personal, your residential, your educational, your experience documents. Along with it, you guys will go for medicals. Yes, there are medicals required, and there should not be any contagious disease like that. Minimal is okay, and you need to show your bank funds as well. It's just to show money. We're not submitting them anything. It's just to show money, just to convince them that yes, once they're giving you PR, you will be able to buy yourself and your family the tickets, and you'll be able to bear your accommodation charges until you are able to get your job. Okay, so you should be able to have at least 20 to 30 days funds with you. There's a proper limit. You can just Google it up for a couple. I guess more than 20,000 AUD I'm talking about should be there. Singles can have 15,000 AUDs just to show money. And then, so yes, now you know PNP means state-wise. They call states as provinces. So that is a PNP program that's actually blessing in disguise. That's the biggest boon one can have. Okay, so rather than you get scared with PNP, oh my God, I'm going for PNP and not express entry. Please, I'm joining my hands literally. This is really a boon. Do not take it otherwise, and do not take it for granted. It really comes forward. And I do have received nominations in the past 8 years for almost all the provinces I had covered so far. So I know how to get it done. We know each and every province has a very complex nomenclature, and you need to be quite experienced before handling a province. I must say that because see, we are playing with the live PR. Your client will not spare you if you mess with it. Okay, so please have a complete detail about it, how to lodge a PNP nomination. Express entry, documentation, easy. Google it up, you will be able to do it. But PNP documentation, you won't find it over the Google on the cloud. No, trust me. The more you read, the more you are into it, the more you experience, only then you can get the knowledge about it. Okay, not much knowledge about IRCC websites even. So how I'm getting this knowledge, because I had literally did launch the applications on behalf of Ontario, Alberta, SINP, Manitoba. There are so many, right? So that is a complex nomenclature, and they sometimes ask you for the annexures that you won't be able to get it out of the net. So be prepared for it. So that is why an agent helps come in between. Why CECA? So that is the main reason. That is the main answer, guys. Getting PNP done is not an icing on the cake. It's pretty complex. So please do not get into it until and unless you know that you will be able to crack it. Right? Trust me, it's more complicated as it seems. Na? And yes, they give you nomination approval 600. Sometimes the ministry is involved in it. And I had literally communicated with the ministerial intervention was there. And I literally communicated with Minister of Home Affairs in order to get 600 points for one of my clients. Okay. So this is the most, you can say most happy as well as most complex part. If you are able to get it, boom, you'll get your PR. If you are stuck, whom you will mess with your PR mate. Okay. So that is why please come join CECA, because I know how to get it done. You will be in safe hands in order to get your PNP things done. Okay, so the marketing strategies, if I'm talking about, PNP means as many provinces, as many PNP programs, as simple as that. So different provinces. So there are different provinces in Canada, starting from Alberta, British Columbia, which we name usually know with the name of Surrey. Manitoba is there, New Brunswick is there, Newfoundland and Labrador Provincial Nomination Program. This is quite famous over there. Nova Scotia is there, Ontario, because Ontario being the capital, so everybody does know about it. So that is OINP, my friends. And then there is Prince Edward Island Provincial Nomination Program, again quite popular. Saskatchewan Immigration, which you call it SANP, Northwest Territories Nominee Program, and the Yukon. So these are all the provinces in Canada, and the provinces, because they are offering a separate nomination system out of them. So that is why we call them out of their own name. For example, Alberta. If Alberta is offering you nomination program, so that will be coming under Alberta Advantage Immigration Program. There are some pilot programs as well. And let's not go in that detail because that will be too much messy for you. So I'm just covering a bit about it. See, Alberta pilot programs, I know so many Atlantic programs, pilot programs, they are only for those individuals who are already onshore, not offshore. And second thing, let me clear, initially there used to be a job offer or job sponsor. If you're able to get yourself a job offer for 1 year full-time contract, then Canadian IRCC, they used to provide us 200 points. In other point, in other ways, PN almost the permanent residencies for sure. But now, since the last year, it has been completely shunned off. It's prohibited. No more job offer points, guys. No 200 points are completely shunned off. So even if the clients are approaching you with job offer, they don't have a job offer, it's a mandatory thing. Please, there are no points with job offer. Okay. But yes, there are some programs in which there might be a condition left that, okay, you need to have a job offer. But again, there are no points associated with job offer. Okay, clear? So next, the skilled occupations. Yes, you might find a similarity in between skilled occupations when I'm talking about Australia one on at the platform being Canada. So yes, in-demand occupations are always there. So at the moment, the in-demand skilled occupations, oh my God, healthcare workers on priority. After the pandemic, there's too much shortage of registered nurses. They are quite dire need of nurses. Okay, that won't be, that won't be false to say if I say that almost 100% of my clients who were dealing with the health sector in the past 8 years, if I had launched their application or it's still been pending, they already have received their PRs after pandemic. If they are dealing in healthcare, even if their age cross 35, even if they're touching 40s, even if the lowest score is 301, say for example, because the lowest that I got is 349 or 329, I still remember. Okay, so overnight, all of them, the healthcare professionals, they used to receive their IPAs. Okay, so yes, healthcare worker on top, any kind of registered nurse, physicians, even assistant in nursing is quite popular in demand. Personal carers, carer, home givers. Oh my God, please do apply. IT, again, data scientists, cybersecurity, DevOps, software engineers, high in demand. And we cannot, how can we forget the skilled trades, right? So, skilled trades, there will be automotive technicians, electricians, and wall painters and glazers. I just received two of the recent PRs for wall painters and glazers, the tilers. And see, if anybody is coming in these occupations, 100% chance you'll be able to get your PR done. But not 100% I can say, because sometimes there are 1% chance of your medicals, of your funds, of this and that. So if that is not the condition, but yes, these skilled occupations, they are entitled to get the PR. That too in a span of 6 months. Okay. While we're checking it, there are knock codes. Similarly, just like we have ESCO codes for Australia, we always check our job duties and responsibilities via. Similarly, guys, we do have knock codes for Canada. We call it knock code, and we check it. There is a tier system, OAB. So, O usually professionals, managerial positions, and A usually have managers, and B usually have supervisors. Newcomers, freshers, no, they come under level B, and they need to have the job offer with them. Okay. Then yes, guys, again, I'm coming on this, that healthcare workers, oh my God, please, I'll literally request all the healthcare workers across Australia, please do submit their application, even if they have a minimum and bare minimum points of 300. Of course, they need the eligibility score. Again, I'll be clearing if you are struggling to get the minimum score, how to get it done. Right? But if you have 300 plus score, do not chase 400 or the highest cutoffs. No, that is not the case always. So I insist, if you have 300 points, please go and lodge your application. You're not losing anything, trust me. Okay. And especially in these, I believe my screen is visible to you guys. So these mentioned over here, these are the gold mines. Healthcare workers, oh my God, please do it. IT techs, DevOps, data scientists, web developers, cybersecurity, too good. Business and finance, if I'm talking about, because we all know they get accounting people over here in Australia, they're not getting anything. Please do apply for Canadian PR, because financial analysts, financial auditors, accounts payable, receivable. Oh my God, they'll be able to get it. They need it. Again, social work here also, similar way, social work across the globe is good. Social work, early childhood educators, because they have so many daycares and aged carers. So they need these people, right? So education people like secondary school teachers in demand, boom. So these, if you are able to have a look to my screen, then yes, these are the highest popular occupations in demand. Healthcare on top. Yeah. Okay, then the next is comprehensive score, which I was discussing about. Comprehensive score means what is your total score for Canada? So total score is out of 1200. For each factor, you will get different score. For example, age is a factor, education, English, work experience. Your spouse could be a factor, your French could be a factor, your siblings could be a factor also. Again, below 29, high chances to get express entry, because after you turn 29 plus, you will be losing 5 points of your age with every year passing by. And more than 35, you need 10 years of experience at least. More than 50, please don't try. English, yes, 6 each is the minimum. Higher, the better. 7 each, more points. 8 each, boom. And we usually seeking in education field, we are seeking at least 3 years of education after 12th, after high school. So it could be 3 years of diploma, it could be 3 years of polytechnic, it could be 3 years of bachelor, could be a combined certification, it could be a certificate 3 in cookery, certificate 4 in cookery, and a diploma in hospitality management. So altogether 3 years, I'm okay with it. Okay. So 3 years of study after 12th, or bachelor's, or master's, or PhD. Work experience I'm talking about, at least 1 year full-time experience they need. And beauty of the part is you don't need the similar experience. Yes, just like Australia, you need the similar field experience. No, they don't need the similar experience unless it's a trade. So, for example, if you had studied MBA and you're working as a retail supervisor, that's quite okay, because you don't need, your skill does not need, it's not a trade, right? And if you are a tradie, then you need a proper certification in the respective trade. For example, if you are serving as a plumber, then you should be have a certification in plumbing, right? And other way, if you are an accountant and if you have not studied accounting, that's okay. That's quite good, because most of my students, or most of the students, you will figure out that they have studied something. Otherwise, they could have been gone for Australia, no? Skill assessment. But skill assessment is couldn't be done if you don't have the similar field experience. So if you don't have that, please come and join Canadian Experience. They will definitely give you out. No skill assessment, only educational assessment is there, which we call educational credential assessment as per the Canadian equivalence standards. Okay, so the factors are age, education, English, work experience, French, siblings, spouse. Job offer was there initially, but it's not been there now. Okay, so also, guys, I see the points. Points, if I'm talking about, see, if you have good amount of 300 points, you're good to go for. If
I
you're
have a question. I
struggling,
have a question.
yeah. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
You say no skill experience are required. If you required BS and bachelor's and 3 years, so how you required 1 year experience? So how will manage in this time?
Okay, so Hashit, the thing is, if you have done your bachelor's, first thing is education. If your 3 years of 3 years of education is done, then the rest is your experience. Yes, you'll be needing 1 year of experience, which is a must to go condition. So So what I was talking is it could be literally different from what you had studied. For example, if you had studied BBA and you got experience in cookery or in any other thing, still you can apply. That's what I meant. But if you had
if
worked,
if
yes,
if
yes,
if
please go ahead.
if I study BS in BBA and have experience in others other any sites, so how we can go ahead, Nita?
Again, that's what I was clearing. See, guys, two things are there again. One thing, same field, same education. So that is all a win-win situation, just in trades. So the other condition is if I had studied bachelor's in some other field and I'm doing work in some other field. Again, there are two consequences. First thing is non-similarity. Your study is different, your work is different. Doesn't matter. Study will be assessed with education assessment, and then separate entity will be taking care of your experience. There is no skill assessing body. So no skill will be assessed. But yes, if you're working in retail or any other field which does not require a trade or it does not come under trade, then no similar experience, no similar education is required. But if you're working as a plumber or a carpenter or automotive technician, of course you need to have the undergone study. Right, Harsha? Am I clear myself?
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
let me make it more
you
clear
say
to you. Like,
you say
yeah,
no, you say if you study BS and completed UBS and have no experience and then you can apply it.
no
You
experience,
say
no, never no experience. What I meant is you still need 1 year experience, may or may not be in the same field. That's what I meant.
okay,
1 year work experience condition is there no matter what. Without experience, you cannot apply. Simple. You need to have 1 year
okay,
experience. But if you have more than 3 years experience, you can get more points. 1 to 3 years similar points, more than 3 years, different points. But yes, it needs to be at least 1 year. Less than 1 year, not satisfied. You cannot apply. You're not eligible. Am I clear?
okay. And how we
Yeah.
get and how we get points 1 year experience?
So 1 year experience, you will be able to get 9 points. And with each passing year, you will be getting more points. For example, if you have 3 years, then you'll get 11 points out of 67, that criteria that I have been discussing about. Okay. If you have more than 3 year points, they will give you 15 points. So with each passing year, two more points. But minimum condition is minimum 1 year with 9 points. It could be same or it could be different. If you had, if you're working, it could be same or it could be different. But again, if you're working as a tradie, then please make sure you have the corresponding trade certificate with you. If you are not working under trade, then it could be whatever study you had done. So depending upon the trade it is. But usually 1 year
And y-
experience is more than enough.
and one question that you are talk about age factor depend upon this.
Yeah. So ages until 29, you get the maximum points for age. Until 35, you will get the maximum eligibility. But once you turn 36, 37, and so on, you will be losing your age points. So you need to compensate that age points with other factors because ultimately I'll be checking the cumulative score. Na? So a cumulative score will be combining together your education, your experience, everything will be combined together. So if you're losing one factor, then you must try to get the other factor. For example, if you're 37 years old, yes, you've been losing your points for age, but again, you should try for a good IELTS score or a good PT score so that you can compensate your points from that factor. Or if you have siblings over there, for siblings you get good amount of 15 points over there. Or again, if you know French, let me share with you a beautiful story of my Mauritian client. So he come to me and he belongs to Mauritius. So I pretty well have the idea that Mauritians, they do communicate in French because that is a minority language, I believe. So I quickly tell them that okay, if you can communicate in French, you should give your TEF exam. That's a TEF exam, TEF exam for French. So he literally passed the exam and he got extra points along with English. Okay. So there are different factors by which you'll be able to make yourself more eligible. But again, baseline is you should be having at least 1 year of experience, that to full time. So full time means you should have at least 35 hours in a week. Okay. So that is again for increasing points. What we can do, see, age is a thing. I cannot hold it. Nobody can. So whatever your age is, just leave it over there. Try to increase your points via English. Try to get masters done. If you are just in between, try to get it done quickly so that you can get extra points. And PhD is bit impossible to chase, I'll say. And you should focus on French. You could focus on friends and siblings and far distant relative as well. Because Saskatchewan is a province again, it can give you 20 points out of 60-point criteria. Oh my God, 20 points if you got a relative over there. Relative could be far. I mean, your uncle or aunt, not just your sibling. And 100% sure PR. So that is increasing points. And then, yes, again, the future initiatives, guys, because again, if you ask me about like, why Canada? What is the future? So comparatively, they got very high migration quota because the birth rate is too low. They got quite vast a land size compared to Australia, almost 5 times bigger. Low population, low birth rate, um, low literary rate, low literary rate. They don't educate themselves much, Canadians. So all these make it a very beautiful country to chase if you want to get a PR in your location. Okay. And the whole once you launch your application, it's valid for 1 year in the field. If you're able to get your invite, that will be good. If you are not able to get invite within 1 year, the application will lapse. But we can always renew the application, and again the validity will be for 1 year. Also, we need to go for education assessment, and there are different agencies that do perform the education assessment. Education assessment means they will check your degree as per the Canadian equivalency standards. So if somebody is faking the education documents, or in Australia, they can literally go with it. But in Canada, they will catch you. So please, hardcore rule, if your education is not genuine anytime in between, do not dare to lodge your ACA. They will catch you. So and they will put a ban of 3 years on you. So high migration quota. That is why they have a high migration quota, because they got literally low birth rate, right? They are looking for more people. But the only condition is they want highly educated people to be with them. Skill assessment or no skill assessment, they're happy with it. Same skill, dissimilar skill, you're not working in the similar field, it's okay as long as you're not working in trade. Because see, there is a logic. If you're working as a plumber and if you have no knowledge about plumbing, why will they take you now? So this there is no skill assessment again, but they just want your documents to be attached with your application. See, if you're working as a plumber, how can you qualify as a plumber? So that is why you need to be genuine about it, about the trades. And there is a parental PR scope. Come on, that's the best point I can discuss, and I can go on and on this. Australian PR, you get it. Still getting parents PR. Oh my God, your parents will be no more. Sadly saying, and still they'll be in the bridging. Quite depressing and illogical as well. They're still in the queue and they're no more, right? But in Canada, you'll be able to get your parental PR within 6 months if lodged properly. You'll be able to get your spouse PR within the span of 6 to 8 months. We had done that. Okay. So they'll give you Medicare, they will give you almost after 60 years. That's a blessing, that's a heaven. Okay. And of course, you can go to US for 10-year work and dual citizenship. Always you can maintain your Australian PR, you can maintain your Canadian PR. That is the most asked question with me, that most of my clients they do ask me, because everybody is in Australian PR. Someone got it, someone still managing, someone struggling, someone waiting, someone lose hope. So still I make my point clear to them. Yes, guys, it is possible to maintain both the PRs at the same time. They won't interfere with each other. You can still have Australian PR and you can still get your Canadian PR. Plus, if you're able to get your Australian citizenship, you can still acquire your Canadian citizenship. Dual citizenship is possible for both the countries. They never interfere with each other. Okay, so you can still quite comfortably, you can have your Australian passport and your Canadian passport in your hand. so they won't interact with each other. So you continue doing your Australian PR. That's what I reckon my clients. You please do. The Australia is always plan A for you if you're living here, right? We want to settle here, but make Canada your plan B. You never know when it gets clicked, and if you are able to get your plan B done, plan A or no plan A, no stress, right? After 30s, you everybody wants to settle down. So please chase your PR option first. Otherwise, you keep on spending your hard-earned money and getting your visa renewal again and again. So we all know the importance of permanent residency in our lives. Correct? So, okay, guys, and if you have more questions, feel free to drop them. I'm all here. And this is Kanika again. I'm a senior counselor in CCA. And you can share the screen. It's my number and my email ID. If you have any other doubts or you just want to chase me up, now you know where to get me. And hope I'm able to make myself a pretty much clear to you, because I know it's a vast thing. I cannot just put it or restrain it in 40 or 50 minutes. But still, if you want to know much more about it, come see me. I'm sitting in the Parramatta branch in CCA, or you can just get us. And also one more thing, because we are applying this globally, my clientage, they are globally. So we offer different fee system or different service charges for people belonging to different countries, so that they won't fare injustice. For example, someone sitting in Pakistan, they should not pay me in AUD as the same person sitting in Australia. It would be quite unfair to them. So we will be reducing our fee charges as per the country's economy. Okay. So yeah, and please feel free if you have any question. We still have 5 minutes left.
Yeah, hi Kanika, this is Rohit from
Hey,
Gurgaon
Rohit,
branch. Yeah, hi. I have one question. So,
please,
if a
please.
person is having age of 44 and is willing
Okay.
to move to Canada,
Mm-hmm.
and if you talk about he is having 8777 in IELTS and his
Perfect.
CRS is 358 in total.
Mm-hmm.
I have calculated
Hmm.
everything.
Hmm.
Then what can we do about him? How can we take him to Canada?
Okay, Rohit. So 44 years. Have you checked the CRS score yet?
Yes, I told you specifically it's 358.
358. Beautiful. So
Yes,
358, first of all, you should be able to make an express entry application.
already launched.
Yeah. And what you can do is you can still, if the person has 10 years experience in the occupation in the last 10 years, you can chase SINP as well.
Yeah, he's a VP, so that's not a problem. And the
Yeah,
thing is
then you,
that,
you should go for a Saskatchewan nomination, because they'll be needing 60 points for that. And I'm sure if the person has 10 years similar field experience, he'll be able to crack it.
see, if I talk about Ontario,
Yep.
what is the difficulty in getting
See,
for
Ontario,
Ontario?
see, the thing is, Ontario 400 below, it won't send you. Again,
So,
it's not
what's
written
the,
anywhere.
I understand, but what is the option to increase this score to like more than 400 or
See, it
like
depends.
better?
It depends. Whether the client is reluctant, he only wants to go to Ontario. He does not want to chase the SINP option. As I again said,
As
that
I told
please,
you,
yeah.
no, no, no. The client is only willing to go to Ontario.
Yeah, if the client is only
So,
willing to
how can we
Ontario,
increase the point if I ask you? I want to know that. How can we increase the point for Ontario?
if the client is married,
Everything I calculated 358 is the
no, no,
CRS
no,
as I
is he
told you.
married? Is he married?
Yes, obviously with kids.
Then the partner can help getting more points via English.
See,
Partner
for
can
this,
partner can give maximum 20 points in English. So I
I
am not
know that
aware of the score of the
I'm
partner.
I'm I'm aware of everything. So just I need to understand one thing. Do we do at CECA? Do
Yep.
we help people get Canadian LMI? That helps.
Again, I already made my point clear over here. LMI is not much in the scene now. They have already shunned it off.
Okay.
LMIA means labor management rule. Na? They used to give us 200 points out of it once clear, or
Yes,
600
yes.
points. So
That
it is
was the
pretty much
point.
not there. They have shunned it off, completely prohibited.
Okay. So
Nobody will
now,
ever get the points then now, because it was quite unfair in the eyes of the justice in Canada. They are of the opinion that any person who is not even able to sustain with the points, and they
okay.
got LMIA done, they can quickly get it done, right? So that
But
that was quite injustice.
I understand.
Yeah.
People make a good amount of money in that in the
Yeah,
past.
I
If I
know, I
talk
know.
about,
So it's
yeah.
it's no longer in the scene now.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
because in some provinces in India, people are still pitching to their clients that okay, you can go for
No,
this
I'm
LMI.
not. I'm not aware of those agents whether they are updated
Uh,
or they are just doing a scam. You can
yeah.
Google it up. Even I'll tell you about my client. We already
Hmm.
launched their PR, and
Hmm.
she was having a good job offer from Alberta because she got her siblings over there, and they managed to get a 1 year full time job offer. Okay,
Okay.
I did the
Hmm.
documentation. I launched the application, and in
Right.
between we got the update that okay, immigration has shunned off the job offers and this thing regarding job. So yeah,
Okay.
she's not getting any point.
So
Even I launched it, the application before the rule announced,
I
but still they
understand.
shunned it off.
Is it like is it some way where we can get additional points? Is there any work permit option available for us
No, no,
for
no, no. Work
Canada?
permit need. Tell your client to go for French if he can.
French language that will give him additional 4 points only, right?
Four, why four? If he gives good, then he can be able to get more points.
Out
Maximum
of
15 points you can get now.
67, if you talk about their consideration is 4 point, I believe.
Nah, see, 67-point calculation is just to check the eligibility. You don't need to
Mhm.
check that. Your client is already eligible.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, you don't need to. It is about the CRS.
So now, if I suggest him to appear for French language, so
Yeah,
maximum
yeah.
15 points he can get, right?
Maximum 15 points, of course. No, French skills maximum. If you got the maximum thing, it is 30. If you got the
Okay.
maximum highest.
Then 358 plus 30 also will not make him eligible for
But
Ontario. So
but don't
probably
you know that French is the second highest language over there? They are completely going with the French people. If your client can get
I'm aware.
30,
I'm
no, 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 no,
aware.
no.
Like
Leave 30 points, Rohit. Even if your client is managed to get 15 points out of TEF, he will
mhm.
be able to get Ontario PR 100%. Because that's a
Okay.
priority. French is a priority over there. Of course, they will take it.
Yeah, I think for
Yeah,
Yukon
they
and
will
all
not
these
ignore it.
areas he can. Okay, for Ontario, he is reluctant to go to Ontario only. That is the reason I
That's
wanted
okay.
to
See,
ask.
whatever, wherever he wants to go, we just need to check how we can increase the score. If he does not want to go anywhere else, he just want to go to
Mhm.
Ontario. That's the only option he can have with.
All right.
French.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No problem. No problem. Guys, do we have any other question? Okay, no problem then. I guess that's all done by me. I rest my case here. So if you have any other doubts, you're most welcome. Please shoot email to me or my number. Just WhatsApp me or text me or just call me up. Okay. And yeah, I hope I made my point clear and you guys are a little bit aware of the Canadian PR now. Cheers, cheers, stay fast. See you all. Bye bye. Have a good weekend though. See ya.
Bye. Take care.
Bye bye. Thank you for being my audience. See ya. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye
Thank you
bye.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Thank you, guys.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.